Hey, what's going on? Luke here, and if you've been a fan of the channel for a long time, you know that I'm a rugby league channel. I usually talk about rugby league. However, it is the off season, and I thought I'd delve into other things. And the main thing I was going to delve into was cricket, with the Ashes coming up, the new cricket game coming out, and what better way to... Actually, it's not really a good way. But I figured I'd better talk about the Tim Paine situation, as it is such big news in Australia. If you're watching internationally, like, this is big for us, it's big for obviously you guys as well. Basically, whenever there's a scandal with the Australian cricket side, it makes national news, it makes worldwide news. So I figured I'd talk about this one. It is a shame that this is one of the first videos I've done talking about cricket on the channel. However, this is something that needed to be talked about. So Tim Paine, if you're unaware, if you're living under a rock, he has stood down as the captain of the Australian Test side. He said that he's still going to be playing in the Test side, which just baffles me, and we'll get into why. But he stood down due to a sexting incident, and it goes all the way back to 2017, which once again baffles me as well. Now, what happened was he was sexting a person who worked for the Tasmanian cricket side, somewhere in the office, I'm guessing. I don't know, somewhere within the side. She's been investigated as well for theft or something that they keep bringing up. But the main issue is that he was sexting her. He sent a dick pic. There's all text being leaked out now. And he'd just been married the year before. So it's just another case of athletes just being stupid and thinking with their dick. And that's exactly what Tim Paine did. And he's going to be made to pay for it. Now, the interesting thing is the fact that Tim Paine took over from Steve Smith, and Steve Smith stood down, or was actually suspended, I should say, but yeah, he stood down slash suspended as the Australian captain because of an incident himself. Obviously nothing to do, nothing similar, but just the fact that it was controversy regarding that, and now Tim Paine is getting done for something as controversial, you'd have to say. I know it's not suspension, it's not cheating, at least on the field. He's cheating off the field, that's for sure, but it just shows you, like, there's something weird with the Australian cricket team at the moment, and maybe it's always been there. You got guys like Shane Warne who've been in the side, so you'd say it's definitely sort of been there, and maybe it's just been swept under the rug a little bit. The age of social media is getting them as well, but I just can't believe Tim Paine. I feel like the Australian public has had a painted picture of this sort of perfect dude who's such a great leader, and I'm not doubting his actual leader, capabilities or whatever, but I suppose I am to a degree. But throughout his whole tenure as captain, everything that's been said about him was, yeah, he's not the best of players, but he's a pretty good leader. And that seems to be what's kept him in the side. I will admit, I'm a bit of a casual sort of cricket fan. I watch from time to time. I sort of go in and out of phases of cricket. I'm not a diehard. But everything about Tim Paine, and I feel like the diehards will agree, and I feel like the casuals will also agree, that Tim Paine's best attribute was not his batting, it wasn't his wicket keeping, it was his leadership, and the fact that he got Australia through the tough times of the cheating scandal that happened years and years ago. Now, obviously, Dave Warner and Steve Smith are back into the side, and there's always going to be talk about, is Steve Smith going to take back over? I'm sure with Tim Paine, I feel like there was some question marks whether he was actually going to be playing in the Ashes anyways, but constantly there's always going to be talk about Steve Smith because he is your best player. There's always going to be talk of, yeah, Steve Smith should take back over. I don't think that's the right move. I feel like it would seem weird to go from one guy who's been in trouble and is stepping down and go to the previous guy who got in trouble. It seems strange. So I don't think that's the move. By all reports, they're talking about Pat Cummins, and they were saying that he probably was going to be the next captain anyways. It was just a matter of time. But I wouldn't be surprised if Pat Cummins comes straight in. They could go for some other guys. They could even go for Steve Smith, but I feel like Pat Cummins is your one. He's your lock-in. He's not someone who's going to be in and out of the side, or there's going to be question marks over whether he should be picked. And I feel like with a lot of the other candidates, that's always going to be something that's talked about, whether they deserve to be in the team or not. With Pat Cummins, you don't really question that. He's just in the side all the time unless he's injured. So I feel like he's sort of, I don't want to say he's a shoe-in, but I feel like he's a really great chance of getting the captain spot. But yeah, Steve Smith, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in, or even someone else. Tim Paine, when he got selected, I didn't even see that coming. So wouldn't be surprised if it is someone from out of left field. But yeah, I just can't believe this has actually happened, especially the fact that it happened in 2017, got swept under the rug. They investigated it. They said nothing happened. They said it was all consensual, morally wrong, but he hasn't really done anything wrong, and he had to apologize to his wife, and they've sorted it out. Now, all these years later, it's come back into the media, and straight away, he's like, yep, I resign, see ya. And I feel like the most puzzling thing is the fact that he stood down and he said he doesn't want to disrupt the Ashes series coming up, which is only a couple of weeks away. So England will be licking their lips at this one. They already have a great side. They have a great chance to win this one as it is, let alone having your captain pull out. Well, he's not pulled out. He's just not going to be the captain. But I feel like without his captaincy, does he deserve a spot in the side anyways? Probably not. You got Matty Wade there. He's been around for a little while. I believe there's a guy called Josh Inglis who seems to be in the mix as well. There's probably some others that I'm missing, but Matty Wade is your easy one that you can just slot in there if you don't want to go for a rookie. So you could just chuck him in there. He's probably not the best gloveman, but you can still chuck him in there and he will do a job for you, and you don't have to try and blood someone in the Ashes. But yeah, it just seems weird for me that he can sit there in the press conference and say, I don't want this to disrupt the Ashes series. And it's like, hello, you've literally just done that. Even if you kept quiet about it and didn't really say anything, didn't stand down, I feel like out of all the things to stand down for, this isn't really that big of a deal. I know they've come out and said, well, he came out and said, like, this isn't the standard for an Australian captain, but you've done this before you were the Australian captain, and everybody knew you did in terms of inside of Cricket Australia. So I don't really understand this whole, like, this was the standard, because they already knew that going in. So it doesn't make any sense. If they already knew, then, you know, you're happy to take the captaincy back then. What's the difference now? I don't know. It just, honestly, it actually really disheartens me, because, like I said, we've been painting the picture that Tim Paine is just this, I don't want to say like a family man, but he's just a good guy, great leader. We saw him in that documentary series they did for Amazon. He spoke really well, and he continues to speak well. Obviously, on the field, doesn't seem to do that much. His glove work isn't that great. Probably his most highlights in terms of him actually playing his little chit-chat with some of the players on the field, whether he's batting or whether he's wicket-keeping. Some of the little interactions he has are quite funny, but that's probably the highlight of his actual playing ability. But yeah, it's just a weird situation to be in. A couple of weeks out from the Ashes, literally the most important thing in Australia. Like, if you're a cricket player for Australia, the Ashes is the pinnacle, even for England as well. But yeah, you're the Australian captain. You're literally the Australian captain. You're standing down weeks out from it. I just can't believe this. The timing could not be worse. Now, guys, I'd love to hear from you. Leave in the comment section below who takes over from Tim Paine, not only in the captain spot, but who comes in for him to be the wicketkeeper. We do need a new wicketkeeper. Is it going to be Matty Wade? Are we going to get that English fella in? Is there someone else I'm missing? Let me know in the comment section below. Also, what are your thoughts on the situation in general? For me, I just don't understand how Cricket Australia sort of swept this under the rug, and now it's out, and they didn't try and sweep it under the rug again. It just seems weird for me. Out of all the scandals, this is the one you stand down from? Really? Like, yes, it is bad, but nothing has changed in those last couple of years. So they made him captain after it happened. It seems very strange. And I keep saying that, but that's probably the best way to phrase it. It is a very strange situation, and it almost makes me think there's something more to it, but I don't know if we'll ever find out about that. But yeah, some of the text that I've seen, if you haven't seen it, you can find it. There's lots of articles and stuff that have some of the text he said, and it's just typical guy sexting talk, I guess. But yeah, that's enough for me. That's my 2 cents on the situation. That's where I'm going to end this video. If you did happen to enjoy it, make sure you go ahead and leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Also, make sure to use the notification bell. Don't rely on the sub boxes. Don't rely on suggested videos. Use the notification bell and never miss any of my videos. Also, we gotta go ahead and give me a follow on social media on the screen right now. It's MrLuke and YT for the most part. My Facebook is MrLuke, but everything else, including TikTok, including Snapchat, is MrLuke and YT. And that's a wrap on one of my first cricket videos. Got plenty more to come. The new Cricket 22 game is coming out very, very soon. I've purchased it for the computer and it's already downloaded, so I might do some videos of the net sessions and just practicing on the game before I actually do proper videos on it. So I might chuck them up on the channel. But yeah, like I said, stay tuned for more content on the channel, whether it's rugby league, whether it's cricket, maybe even another sport, maybe even another game or something. But like I said, stay tuned for more content on the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. See yous!